Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless you. Uh, this is gonna be a new tutorial because we're switching things up. I know I've been gone a little bit. Let's just get back on track. Everybody fell off, and this is a pattern that's been happening with the social media marketing team for a while. For one reason or the other, Satan is in the midst. Just as a background for everybody that's new, that doesn't know the history. I've explained this before to everybody else on the team. Some of you that are newer may have heard it in the meeting. I'm making a new video for everybody, so it's a continual. It's going to be continually available for everybody that steps in. Basically, a few years ago, it was started by Captain Aparium. For some reason, we just fell off. We did it for about 6 months. We fell off. Then it was started. I think someone else tried to actually do it before him, but it fell off as well. The last time where it started to be consistent and it grew, and the Most High blessed it, was when about 2 years ago, when I started. Basically, what happened is I knew that there was a need for it, but I didn't want to be exactly held accountable for it. Pardon me, I'm sick. As far as me bringing it to the leadership's table, because I already have a lot on my plate. That with that being said, and another thing is that there's a lot of stuff when you bring a new idea to the table. You gotta be on point. You can't just come up with something, and this goes for any of you soldiers, officers, members. Anytime you see a need, make sure that you count the cost. Make sure you have everything planned out, laid out. Because sometimes, even though you see a need for something, but you might not be an expert in that area, then they'll be like, brothers will start asking questions, and if you don't have all the answers, then you get knocked down. So, anyways, I wasn't so sure about how this was gonna go. I didn't know too much about social media marketing when I started this, but ever since then, I've learned a lot. But anyhow, so we started it, and what happened is I recruited a few people. We did it, and what you started seeing is that this truth we started to get noticed a lot more online. Like, so people, there were more reactions ever since we started pushing out more. Like, because what happened was is that when we first started marketing, we would hit the holidays. That was a major thing. We started pushing out the regular content like the laws, statutes, and commandments, but the big ones were holidays. We started pushing the videos. Now, I'm telling you this because not only so you can have the background, but so you can get the idea of what we're gonna be pushing on the regular. We focus on, if you're part of the social media marketing team, we focus on the law, statutes, and commandments. We rarely talk unless there's a law or an order passed by the leadership. We rarely really talk about news articles and things like that. Um, those things really have to be approved. We've done it before. We've done it a few times, but it has to be approved by leadership. And I'm gonna have a new line of content creators, and they're going to be in charge of creating content. And then the rest of you, all you have to do is share it. And the reason I divided it like this is because everybody says they don't have enough time. Listen, I know about time, and honestly, I can say that most of it is about bad time management, and this is something that I'm still working on. It's bad time management. We as Israelites, it's called color people time. We do not know how to manage your time. I'm guilty, and I recognize this, but you have to recognize it as well. There's very few of you that can actually say, and even with everything on my plate, I can truly say that honestly, I could do better with my time. So, and there's very few of you that can say that you have that much in your plate where you just don't have time. Stop it. You can't. If you're telling me that you can't sit down for 1 hour or two a week just to schedule for the whole week, you're playing games. But anyhow, um, focused on social the law, statutes, commandments. blasting down doctrines like Islam, the other religions, anything that's popular with our people. Blast down the even like Hispanic History Months, Black History Months. We anything that's popular in the world, we get on at certain time periods. So these are the things that you should be mindful of, paying attention for, especially for those of you that are part of the teams that are going to be touching on different countries. You're going to be required to do research. I'm telling you that right now. And what I'm thinking about doing it is because we're going to make this work whether you like it or not. So if it's that difficult, because I know some people just they're not computer savvy. I might even divide it up where I'm even gonna have a separate team where all you guys do is research for the social media marketing team. If that's what it's gonna take, then I'll divide it. I'm gonna delegate into subgroups even further, as long as we can get it done. Because the thing is that um, we need to take the social marketing, media marketing team to another level. What happened was when I started this, eventually it came to the leadership's ears that I was running the social media marketing group, and then the issue came out, which is reasonable. Okay, well, who is over this? What captain, what higher ranking officer is over this, and who's approving the content that's going out? Because you can't have the name of IOIC being stained just because a knucklehead decided, hey, you know what, let me push something, and then someone gets emotional and they want to put something out, and then it's the wrong thing, and then it just looks bad on the IOIC. So that's another thing. You can't post anything that hasn't been approved. Well, I can't repeat that enough. Usually it'll go up the ranks. Even if let's say all you do is share, but you have an idea, bring it to your content creator. Your content creator will bring it to me, or maybe even before me, someone under me, which I'm gonna have helping me micromanage you guys. And then I'll bring it to Captain Zeph. Once it's approved, then it can get pushed out. So back to the point, it came to their ears. Then after that, Captain Zeph started dealing with me, and ever since then, the leadership that at that point was when the leadership sent an order out to all these schools to have in the different states to have their own social media marketing team in their respective areas. So that's what a little bit of initiative can do. You can bring once and that's why I didn't really want to bring it out to the table right away when I first started, because when you have an idea, sometimes it's unless there's proof that it works, Israel's not willing to go with it. Once you do something, and you can at least prove like, hey, this can happen, this can work, and you have a history of doing it, then that's when people can take you seriously. So that's why even when I first did it, I wasn't doing it directly under. I asked counsel on it, about it. You can't, because you can't do anything without counsel either. I didn't just like completely like not tell anybody. Like I still asked a few officers, and the counsel I got was, okay, well listen, try it out, but just don't use IYC. You understand? And then that's when I had also spoken later on. I had spoken to Captain Zeph when we wanted to add more people just to make sure that we can handle the whole team. Was we're not doing it directly under the name of Israel United in Christ. What we're creating is anonymous news pages, which is what a lot of other people do for other different organizations, and it's and you create a following. So, and we're gonna get into that later. So it's almost like we're kind of pretending that we're not part of IYC under these pages, but they're just news pages. In case of, and the reason why we do that is that just in case someone gets out of line and they get kicked out of the school, um, but then we could just X them out and be like, hey, listen, that's not part of IYC. They're just promoting. We don't know who they are. They were just promoting it. just because we don't want anyone to get at the spirit, because again, Satan's in the midst and anything can happen. Um, but anyhow, excuse me. So now what happened is that all the different schools, they started their own social media marketing team, which is good, under the banner of Israel United in Christ. All praises. So after a while, we kind of just fell in the same cycle. The social media, or the original social media marketing team, we're posting the same thing over and over again. So how do we take it to the next level? So I was thinking about it. I talked to Soldier Matthias. Well, shout out to Soldier Matthias. He's been very helpful, and all the brothers, the original team. Um, Dino and then the Sister Nanelia. Sister Nanelia actually was like one of the first ones who joined with me to help me out. So all praises to the Most High for everybody part of the original team. Um, but you know, I was asking around, and we agreed that, you know what, we need to start. Well, one of the things that came to me is that we need to start reaching the other countries. Just because I can't travel out there, unfortunately, I don't have the financial means. But hey, you know what? We can start touching out there. We got the internet. We can start touching out there at least through the internet. So how do we do that? Well, we're gonna have to start learning different languages. Unfortunately, not everyone has the mind for it. So I'm gonna teach you in this video also how to use the translators, even though you don't know the language. So that's why we've created now the different teams with the different languages, and the same thing that happened when I first started the social marketing team is happening all over again, because it takes a while for Israel to step into a new system. Everybody's like confused. Everybody's trying to get used to the new system, and that's why we've taken a dip again in barely any activity going on. And then I got caught up with other stuff, but that's no excuse. This is important because, like I mentioned many times before, we, as part of being the social media marketing team, we've noticed certain things happen because we've been pushing out every day and consistently. Things have happened. Like, for example, like once we started really getting out or getting on the different holidays and social media marketing, certain news articles started coming out, certain news programs started coming out. I've talked about it before, and I'm pointing it out. So whoever of you I've talked to it about, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to skip past all this so I can get to the tutorial. But you guys need to know the background information. That's why I'm ranting on about it. The point is that we've caused certain things to happen through the power of the Most High and His Son Christ to happen in the regular media because we're pushing it out so hard. And one of the things that we've caused recently is there's some dumb individual like out in Japan that's talking mad trash about YC. Now he's been doing it for a few years now with all the other camps, but all of a sudden now when we're pushing out to Japan, he's just talking mad smack about IOIC. Now he's coming, for some reason it's just like he's getting noticed. He's coming more to surface now because we've been hitting Japan up through the social media marketing. So this is the power of social media marketing. Don't be worried. Don't worry that you don't get noticed or quote unquote like a whole bunch of likes or too many followers. You're gonna get the followers gonna come little by little. But just because people aren't liking and following your stuff does not mean that people aren't noticing it and they're not seeing it. Believe me, they're seeing it and they're noticing it. And the fact and the proof of that is that because over time you're gonna start seeing it. You're gonna see it. Certain things are gonna come up and we'll be like, you see that? That's not by coincidence. But anyhow, this is what we're gonna do. If anyone that was part of before, or even if you're brand new, I know I was mentioning about using Hootsuite. For some reason, Hootsuite now, because I used to pay for this, because it allowed me to do more. But right now, all we're gonna focus on until we get experienced enough. What we're gonna focus on is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And the reason for that is because and probably print. You should make a thing for Pinterest, an account for Pinterest, and also for your YouTube channel. But the YouTube channel requires for you to make a Google Plus page, and I'm gonna walk you through all that. Uh, so okay, so back to Hootsuite. Basically, what happened is that it's no longer free completely. It used to be 100% free. Now, I don't want to commit anyone to making payments, and Lord willing, in the future, once I see that everybody's consistent, what I want to do is that I'll be able to come up with the money because it's only $15 a month, and this other program that we're gonna start using. So then we're all under one account. But before I do that, I need to make sure that everybody's on point. So we're not gonna use Hootsuite. That's the point. We're gonna start using Social Pilot. So you're gonna go to socialpilot.co, make your account. Now, once you could just easily add yourself under Facebook. Once you do that, we're gonna create a post. Okay, and the only downside about Social Pilot is that we're gonna be limited to 10 posts a day, but that's fine because that's all we need to start out, just so everybody gets used to it. Then we're gonna step it up to the next level. Scripture says, "He that is faithful in little is faithful in much." So we're gonna you add yourself under uh you because you'll see the options. Like, watch, I'll log out real quick. So just connect with Facebook. That's what you need to do. Just connect with Facebook. Don't go through all that extra stuff. Connect through Facebook. Now what you're gonna want to do next is connect accounts. Now what you're gonna want to do, because you don't want to post under your own account. I mean, you can you can, but you don't have to. Where that's why we create pages for Facebook. This is how you create a page before we even go into connecting the other accounts. Because once you sign up for this socialpilot.co, your Facebook's already gonna be connected to this. So this is how you do it. Under your Facebook account, you're gonna hit this triangle up here. You're gonna go create page. And what you're gonna do, I'm sorry, is that you're gonna hit the entertainment category. Now, under choose category, you're gonna go under, where is it? TV network, right? And you're gonna put something like, so some of you may have already done it, so you can skip this part. But you're gonna put, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're doing, like, for example, you're doing the Russian team, correct? Now, many of you complain to me that you don't know the different languages and it's a little confusing. This is how you use the translating tool. You go to imtranslator.net. I like this one because when you translate, it translates back to you. So then you get to see how it sounds in a different language, and you can correct it. So we'll go to let's say Russian. So Russian to English, or so we're gonna switch English to Russian. Let's say you want to make it. Uh, let's say just for the sake of, because I'm not sure what they call our people in Russia. Most likely African as well. But you put African awakening, right? African awakening news. Now the reason why we're naming the channel that, and the page, the page that, is because remember, you are marketing to the worldly. When you were back in the world, the first thing that you thought when you saw any, or you heard anything about Israelites, is the little funny pilgrim looking people that call themselves Jewish. So people aren't gonna really be automatically attracted to that. Our people, they're gonna be like, that has nothing to do with me. You're marketing to our people. You need to speak in worldly language. So you need to put, your title should be something that the worldly will understand or will attract us, the worldly, because you got some of our people that they're looking and they're searching for answers. So they're gonna look under African African Awakening. Let me check this out. Let me check this page out. Bam. Now they go to African Awakening news, and especially in Russia, like African Awakening. What I mean? So you want something that our people will be attracted to. So now you put African Awakening news, right? Now you hit translate. It's gonna give you a direct translation right here. Now, if you don't know the language. I don't know how to read Russian. I don't know what that. It looked like some cyber coding, some hieroglyphics. I'm gonna click back translation. So now how it reads back is it reads the African Awakening news. That's how I know, okay, it's not exactly what I wrote, but it makes sense. It's plausible. Now I'm going to copy this and come back to create page, paste it. Okay, it's lagging. It says, all right, so, and then I'm going to click get started. Now, for languages that are a little bit more difficult, like Japanese, this is what you need to do. You notice how I didn't really, I put 3 words. You gotta understand that in different languages, more is expressed in fewer words. That's why the native, the Gad, when you read about history, certain Gadites will say when they were forced to learn English, they hated it because in their own language, which is a diluted Hebrew, they would be able to express everything in a few words. All their feelings and the complexity of their thoughts and ideas and expression can be expressed in just a few words. In English, you gotta say like a whole sentence before you can express that much. And that's one of the things that they said, that in English they couldn't express themselves the same way. It's the same thing in these different languages. More is expressed in fewer words. So let's say we switch the because you got all the basically all the languages in the world on this website. So let's go down to Japanese. I'm clicking translate. All right, so you got the Japanese characters. Boom. You see how it says the same thing, because I kept it simple. African Awakening news. When it translates back, since I kept it simple, the translator has an easier time translating it accurately. Now, let's say I said, uh, let's say I put Negro no, what was the other one? Let me see. There was something. Let me think of something real quick. Let's say thou shalt not commit adultery. Because sometimes, and this goes out to you content creators. And the reason why I'm not dividing this tutorial up for content creators and sharers is because some of you that are sharing the content need to be able to use this translator to put something commenting. You're not just gonna post. If you're just posting the images, you're wasting your time. Because we're gonna need to use hashtags, and you're gonna have to write something in the comment. I mean, on your status that's gonna make people think like, you can say like adultery is a huge problem in Japan. Now the heathen, they're gonna come in, but what we want is out of those is sift the heathen out and just get the ball rolling. Even if admin gets wrapped up in it, get the ball rolling so to cause it to get shared around and pick up our people, because our people are gonna pick it up like, whoa, this ain't really for Japanese people. This is for us. Once they start looking at the page and they start seeing the other posts, and the admin is gonna be like, whoa, what the hell? It's like this ain't for us. This is for the Negroes up the block. So you need to put something compelling, or like for example, um, God hates boyfriend and girlfriends. Stuff like that. That sounds odd to the world. So you can even say, let's say that's a little that sentence is a little more complex, so it might not translate correctly. Okay, this one actually translated it well. But if I say thou shalt not commit adultery, it might not, because certain words don't really translate or don't exist the same way in other languages. I know there was a sister that had that problem, and I was trying to explain her the same thing. Try different ways of wording it. When it doesn't translate correctly, then you need to reword it. And if we could get a brother out there that's from those countries, and we could pick them up and help them translate, then more more power. That'll be better for us. Okay, thou shalt not commit adultery came back correctly. Now you can also compare. You can try it in different because it says prompt Google Microsoft. There's different search engines that you can use to compare the translation. So see Google, the way they translate it, it says you adulterer. So we're not gonna use Google. So that's what I was saying. This is that sometimes the way you word it, or it depends also which translator you use. Microsoft translates better. The reason why Microsoft translates better is because, remember, Microsoft also created Microsoft Word. They need to be on point with their autocorrect and their sentence correctors and everything else. Let's see. So the point is trial and error. Try to keep the sentences more simple. Don't be too lengthy with them. The simpler the sentences and the concepts, the easier it will be for the translator to translate it correctly. That's the point. So anyways, going back to the creating the page. Now from here, it's very simple. All you're gonna do is add a picture. You click on it, you take a photo or upload it. You're not gonna take a photo unless you're holding up a picture that you want to put up, but you're gonna upload the photo from your thing. You're gonna add a cover. We already have a kind of like a standard. I'm probably gonna develop a new one for the different languages. So that takes time though. It's just like the 331 artifacts proving that the Israelites are black, and I had to translate them over and over again. That takes time for me. I need help with that. And that on top of everything else, like because as some of you probably already know, I also do IOIC watch and read. So if I can get other people that know how to video edit it, then that'd be great. Anyways. One of the first things that you're going to do when you create your page is you're going to go to settings up here. It's going to bring you to this page. Now, what you want to do so your page is effectively marketing, you're going to want visitor posts. Anyone can make sure that it says anyone can publish to. No. Actually, you want to correct that. You need to disable posts by other people on the page. You don't want other people posting stuff on your page. It'll look ridiculous because then you'll have some haters or something do something stupid like put child porn on the page and all this other stuff. We don't want that. Messages, yes, people can message you privately. You want that because when you want sincere people that are interested, you can redirect them or their questions. Tagging ability. No, we don't. Yeah, I guess you can leave that. Only people who help manage my people can tag photos posted on it. Other people tagging this page. You can let them tag because usually when they tag, it's like it's like another way for them to share. Age restriction. You want to make sure that that's available for everybody. Now, country restrictions. Now, this is important because honestly, you want, like, for example, this page is Russian. I want to restrict it to Russia. Why? Because I don't need people in the America. I mean, there are Russians in America, but but how many people of our people really are in America that only speak Russian? Not a lot. We want to reach our people that are actually in Russia, actually in Japan, actually in France. So you want to change the country restrictions of that where you're targeting. Let's say your page is in French. You want to make sure you type in all the countries that speak French. That's very simple. You go to Google and you put friend list of French-speaking countries, and you pop them in. All right. Now, I could actually watch this because I know that there are more countries that speak Russian. List of countries that speak Russian. Look, we got a few of them, and our people don't sleep on Russia and those countries. There are our people that live there. It's just that they're not known about or put in the media. They are there when you do the research. So now, here we got Russia, Belarus. What's this? Let me see. Country. Where is it again? Country. Edit. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually wrong. Oh, okay. There. Make sure you didn't do what I did. I put hide this page from viewers. To make sure it says only show this page to viewers in these countries. You don't want to restrict those countries. That'll defeat the purpose. Anyways. So I got Russia. We got Belarus. We got Kazakhstan. We got Kyrgyzstan, whatever it is. Abkhazia. I've never even heard some of these countries, yo. Abkhazia. See, that's how bad it is. You can't even. You can't. Some of these countries aren't even available because they're either so poor, or they're that third world that you can't even reach them. Either that, or there's like because of political issues, Facebook won't deal with them. Like for example, you can't put Cuba in here. Damn, you can't even put Ukraine in there. That's crazy. Okay, you can't put Ukraine. Moldova. Okay, you got Moldova, Armenia. It's not now in some of these countries. It's not the official language, but you got speakers in there. So, but you want to toss them in there just in case. Remember, this truth was this just said that the line went throughout the whole world. So it's gonna go out there. It don't matter. Trust me. It could reach that one that like 10 people in that country. You just never know. You that one brother that will know it will reach them because he may be a little better off than everybody else. He got the internet. He just happened to bump into it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, and then he knows where the rest of his people are. He teaches them. You understand? So you don't want to take that chance. They got Israel in here now. Israel, I'm kind of skeptical of, but I'll pop it in there anyways. Lithuania, because and the reason I pop Israel in there anyways, because even if there's not even that much people there that speak Russian or any at all, Scripture still says that the heathen would rage. So they get pissed off that we're teaching in Russia. Let them get pissed off. That flabbergasted. Like, damn, these niggas is teaching in Russian now? What the hell? Mongolia. I can see Mongolia. Tajik. But you get the point. You get the point. You want to put all of them in. Once you're done with that, right? Similar page suggestions, page updates. Okay, there we go. Allow people who manage this page to write posts in multiple languages. So you want that. Especially those of you that are dealing in the different languages, which most of you are anyhow. Okay, now what you do, we're gonna edit the page real quick. I think there should be some options there that we need. Okay, never mind. The next thing you want to do is page rules. You're gonna want to put me in there. Make sure you add me on your personal page and Captain Zephaniah. If you have issues, you don't even have to add Captain Zephaniah. If you have issues, I'll make sure that I add him because he needs to be overseeing what's being posted as well, just in case. And you're gonna make me an admin. So all you do is you put Gedaliah, Israel, and you switch this button and you put admin. Admin. So now what we want to do is again we're gonna go back to who we're marketing to. So preferred page audience. So set preferred page audience. And pop Russia in. Russia the country. And again, you're gonna put Ukraine. You're gonna put all these different countries in. And you're gonna do the same thing we did before. You're gonna direct it to these countries, all men and women, all age ranges. All right. In the language, you're gonna put the language in there, um, that you're marketing in. The reason why is because instead of Facebook, whenever you post something, instead of it just going all over the place, it's being directed to Russia only, and any Russian speaking languages that you put in. So that's why that's important. Um, all right, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for that. Eventually, we're gonna get into Instagram ads, and you can add the Instagram account to this, and they'll work combined. Facebook and Instagram kind of do like a collab thing where they do the advertisements. Um, but that's for the future. You can add it now if you want, but we're probably not gonna use it until sometime in the future. Now that that's done, we're gonna go back to Social Pilot. We're gonna connect that page. Connected accounts. You're gonna choose your personal account, or whichever account that you're using. Some of you, I told you, if you want to, you make a new page specifically for the marketing. If you want, if that's what you prefer. Uh, where is this thing? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna click the page that I want. Okay, it's not working for some reason. Save and set up schedules. Now we're gonna go to save and set up schedules. Now, once you have that, you put save and set up schedules. Any day now. Not now this I'm not sure what why I still haven't figured out this managed schedule thing. I'll figure it out as I go. The reason being is because um I wanted to do it as I went, just in case, because certain pop-ups, and I think that what happened with this too was is that when I first connected it asked me certain permissions that it was important. It just didn't pop up again for some reason. So now we're gonna click this page. Actually, we want to do posts. We're gonna create a post. Now, watch this. This is a link. And I'll probably post it in the video description. This says that this is a infographic that tells you when are the best days and times to post on Facebook. So this is gonna help you out because sometimes um, just posting at random isn't really that effective. Now the reason why originally, and you can do either or. It depends on how much time you have. I recommend, if you have the content and you have the time, then schedule the whole week. I mean, I used to do like I used to tell the brothers and sisters, and we brought it down a little, but if you're posting once an hour, once every 15 minutes, I think I was even doing once every 5 minutes, um, to just push it out, and schedule it for the whole week, and I'll show you how you do that. um, what it does is that since there's so much content, Google. I'll start out like this. Google is like a big index for the internet. Anything you type, like when you have your Bible app and you post and you want to search a word and where to find it, you're looking for a scripture and you know a few words of the scripture, but you don't know where it is, and it brings out the verses that have those words. Google does the same thing, but for everything in the internet. So when you put out Israelites, and the combination, like every time you put the Israelite, the word Israelites or African American or Latino next to Israelites or Israel, and then you keep on typing, putting those posts out over and over and over again. What it starts doing is that Google starts seeing all this influx of information, and it starts becoming easier for anybody that searches for Israelites to start seeing that feed, or any social problem, or like let's say something in the news happened, and like that, I don't know, like what happened in Ferguson, and you people type in Ferguson, one of the results is going to be Israel or Israel United in Christ. That's why it's so important to schedule these posts, because we want to come up on these feeds, and the more you post, the easier it becomes. And for that reason is one of the reasons that I want to set up a website dedicated to that as well, because we want to come on top when anytime Israel or Jewish Jew comes up. We want to be there on the first page, and that comes with search engine optimization. That comes with a whole lot of things, and I can work on that, but it's gonna take time. And if it'd be better if I can have someone else help me. Yeah, I can't do everything myself. So if you have some a little bit of experience with web developing, or on the back end of websites, then reach out to me. So here it says Thursday and Friday, right? Those are the best days. So listen, if you're really that stressed on time, then what I suggest doing is, because we only have um, on Social Pilot 10 times a day to post. What I suggest you do is that scatter it out Monday through Wednesday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Scatter the posts out from 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So like let's say we got Monday through Wednesdays. And choose one day a week to do this. Let's say I know I'm free every Sunday afternoon. I'll sit down and I'll start posting. I'll come over here, and I think this is how Social Pilot works. Um, let me look at the schedule. Schedule query kind of. Let me just put this to Russian again, just so you have the the example. You're gonna copy, paste, and you're gonna attach, share as image, and you're gonna upload an image. You upload the image, and wait till it uploads, right? Or it could just be a regular text. um, well, that's another thing. You here on the side, you're gonna have to click which account you want it to go on. So I wanted to go on my Russian account, right? And you could choose multiples as well. Um, but we right now we don't want to, because the thing is that we want um we want to scatter these out evenly, because we're limited. Once I see that you guys are doing it perfectly, I'm gonna put the money up, or maybe and then we're gonna put you under all my team, under my team, and all you guys can go log in under my account, and you guys will each have your own login, and we're gonna have unlimited amount of posts that we can create and accounts that we can add. So when I click here, it's Facebook. The reason why I want to just stick to Facebook is because the best times to post on Facebook is not the same as the best times to post on Twitter. It's different. So we click, we add to queue. Now post successfully scheduled. So now we're gonna go to manage posts. So now you um when you go to schedule them, now here's where you can choose, like, okay, when you want you when you go to manage posts and you click on that little time right there, it'll give you the day. Okay, when do you want it to go out? I say, okay, today's Friday. Well, according to this infographic, the best times to post are 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So this page, I'm gonna put 1 p.m. Why? One. Okay, this is not working out. p.m. and I'll schedule it. And you do the same thing. You create the post. You go over here and you schedule it every day. You have a limit of 10 posts. You schedule them at each time. Now the reason why you don't want to use all the 10 on just Facebook, well, you're gonna end up doing is that you could do five a day for Facebook and 5 for Twitter, because this thing doesn't have a thing where you can automatically do it for Instagram. Instagram is a different ball game, and it's kind of dumb when you keep on posting the same picture over and over again. So I'm gonna show you how to do it on Instagram in a bit. So you do 5 for these. So what I would do is schedule one for 9 o'clock, the other one for 1 p.m., the other one for 3 p.m., and then the other one for 5 p.m., say 5 p.m., and then the last one for 7 p.m. That way it's going out throughout the day. Some people might catch it at different times, because sometimes some people, they're riding on the bus and they might catch it on the way home or whatever. I mean, this is Russia, so I don't know how it works out there. But anyways, it's going to go out at different times. So you get one in on a hot time and another on another hot spot, and then you got the others going out throughout the day, right? So now let's deal with Twitter. Log in. If I can remember my login. So here's my login, right? So let's say, so now I'm gonna go back to accounts. Excuse me. Connect account. So now we're gonna connect the profile on Twitter. Now, in your case, you're gonna have an account specifically um, for the social media marketing, and it basically the same thing I did with connect the page on when you tweak the edits on your page that you made on Facebook, you're gonna do the same thing on Twitter. You're gonna put your password in. You're gonna authorize the app, and I'll show you how to change those options. I haven't done it in a while for Twitter, but it's pretty much the same. Let's go to Twitter. Um, Also, note broken hearted orphan child. Okay. We got to reach out to the Philippines as well. That's another thing. Um, where's the okay settings? Nope. I'm gonna go to my home page. There we go. You're gonna click on your icon, and then you're gonna go to settings and privacy. Now we go to where is it? Okay, select your country. Now you're gonna go and you're gonna select the country that wherever you're doing. So you would collect. I mean, in my situation, I would select Russia. Right? Click on Russia because not only will you be dealing with just Russia, but you'll also get news feeds like especially when you get options of what accounts to follow. You can choose the uh, um, Russian ones and Ukrainian ones and stuff, and you can follow them, and you can see if like there's Jake in the news or anything like that, and you can come up with ideas to the content creators and say, hey, I saw this article on my Twitter feed, and then I saw this. Maybe we should make a post on it, and you could just pop whatever they're saying in Google Translate and see what they're talking about. There's actually widgets that are on that you can add to your web browser that automatically do that. So now let's see with web notification. My locations to my tweets. No. Okay, so apparently they might have switched it up again because these social media sites they're always switching the system up. Um, So yeah. Anyway, so really the only way to do it now, because they in the older Twitter they had the options, but now I guess you just manually content. You switch it to Russia, the country, and then your language you would choose Russian. That's the only way to do it right now, because otherwise you'd have to do it in Twitter ads, but you have to pay for that. And again, the same thing. You would come to whenever you want to make posts, you create a post. You create your contact. Now it'll tell you Twitter here. It says it only allows 140 characters, so be mindful. So another thing too, when you're making your posts, you want to look up your hashtags. So this is how you look up hashtags that you should be looking out for. Popular. Let's say I'm in the Russian marketing team, and I put, okay. I don't know what hashtags are popular in Russia. Popular Russian hashtags. There's actually another website. I forgot which one it is. Hold on, let me look up something. But it tells you, it gives you a map, and it gives you what hashtags are hot in that area. So this is popular in Russia. Game Insight, HOB, whatever that is, Android games. You want to use these and put them in your posts, because it'll bring them up in the results. It'll make them spread out further, because people will click on Twitter on that what's popular, and that will pop up in your feed. I can't find it right now. Okay, there we go. That's what they call hashtag trackers. Tracking. So you want to put hashtag tracking websites, because these will keep let you keep up with what hashtags are hot. Um, so you have keyhole, and I'm gonna put these in the description too. And what you do is that once you put, this is how you use them. Once you type in whatever you gotta type in, then you just copy and paste them in here, and make sure you're not going over the Twitter or character amount. And the same thing in Facebook. Facebook doesn't have a limit, but you add the hashtags. It's the same thing's gonna be in Instagram. When you comment, you make a controversial comment, you put IYC, hashtag IYC, hashtag is Reunited in Christ, and then the other hashtags that are popular. This way, it helps the post go out further. And the next thing, other than that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. Remember, 5 for Facebook, 5 for Twitter, and then after that, the only thing that's left is Instagram. Now with Instagram, um, you're gonna have to do manually. You're gonna have to do it on your phone. You download it. I'm gonna have to actually download Instagram myself. It's Instagram is self-explanatory. A lot of you use Instagram. You've used this Instagram, and all you have to do. I mean, it's just the only problem with Instagram is you're gonna have to put the hashtags in manually. Now with Instagram, what's this? Going back to the infographic. Oh, and I forgot to mention when you tweet, make sure the same thing with Facebook, different times, different days. Um, like obviously when you're posting for Facebook on Thursdays, you're gonna um do it differently than the normal days. What I would do. Well, actually, you can forget that. We're not gonna worry about the specific days just yet. Um, Only because we're limited on how many. Because what I would normally say is if you can post more, because we don't have Hootsuite anymore. But once we pay for the social co-pilot, once we pay for that, on days like Thursdays and Fridays when Facebook is hot, we would do it more often. We would do Facebook like a whole bunch of times, like literally like schedule it for every 15 minutes on Thursday and Friday, like for the whole day, 24 hours. Schedule. And the reason you want to do this is because now, let's say you did all that work on Sunday. Now you don't have to worry about it for the whole rest of the week. It's gonna go out automatically. But anyways, the point is pay attention to the times in which you should post. Now we don't have a LinkedIn. We're probably not gonna make use of it. Pinterest, there is no automatic poster for that. So what I recommend doing is on the Sabbath, if you have time, then do it on Friday nights between 2 a.m. for 4 a.m. And if those of you that watch Deacon Asaph's class, you probably wouldn't have any problem doing that anyhow. So what I would do for Pinterest, when you make the account, you can't do it automatically, but while Deacon Asaph's doing his thing, or maybe you want to just go to sleep and put that time up, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Or maybe on Friday nights. All you gotta do is just oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking you can do it automatically. Backtrack. Just post up. Whatever was posted with the new content that was made that week. Do it that Sabbath morning. Post them up on Pinterest. Whatever was posted on Instagram, take that picture and post it on Pinterest with a comment and hashtags, because Pinterest also has hashtags. Or if you can't do it, if you're not, depending on your schedule, if you can't do it on from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., do it during the class. Depending on your time, from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the Sabbath. Because Pinterest is huge. Pinterest is really huge. Instagram is another one. You can't really do Instagram automatically. Instagram is very difficult with that. They don't want anyone doing that. So best time of the day on Mondays, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So if you want to do it on Mondays during your lunch hour, or maybe on Monday afternoon, or maybe Monday morning, then upload those on Instagram on Mondays. And if you can't, just do it on a different day. I mean, it's you can only do but so much. And Google, I believe you can add Social Copilot. I mean, Google Plus on Social Pilot. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Matter of fact, let's try it out right now. Accounts, connect account. Okay, so we're limited because we need to pay more. So no, that's a no. Um, and other than that, again, I gotta look through all the lists, through all the teams, see who's active, see who's not. See, I'm probably gonna kick people off, um, just because they're just not consistent enough. We need consistency. I can't just have people because what happens is if you're not consistent, you might as well not be there because you're holding people up. You're just gonna bring people down. So that I'm probably gonna end up getting rid of people today. Um, and just with that, I say shalom. If you have questions, hit me up. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Um, and it's very simple. It's very simple. So I'm just gonna edit this real quick, and then I'll put that. I'll upload it. All right, shalom. Oh, before I go, there was one last thing. For you content creators, if you do not know how to use Photoshop, if you do not know how to use Illustrator, this is the tool that you're gonna use. Canva.com. You're gonna sign up. I already made a tutorial how to use this, so I'm gonna just put it in the description, just so we're not, this video is already too long as it is. So you know, sign up with Facebook. This is just as good as Photoshop. Um, and brothers and sisters have created very nice content with this. And that's about it. Shalom.